All right, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. Today, we're going to be some rednecks because we both got some wacky tobacco in our mouths. Today, we're having myself and Mr. Jay Naugy, and we're going to talk about lots of fun stuff. Welcome, Jay.
What's going on, buddy? I'm queuing up my. I forgot to record the last ones. I'm gonna put this on my channel too, but I'm up, dude. I'm up like 12 subscribers since in this month.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, damn, Jay's moving up.
Dude, I'm getting big now.
Hey,
I'm
look,
gonna
the
see.
bot commented.
What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing stupid YOLOing videos because I just think it's funny to mock these idiots. Because the main thing I wanted to start off with is what was Meet Kevin's reaction when Kevin O'Leary was like, "You have 48% of your portfolio in one stock. You're a moron, dude." You've seen me fret about how I got out of control with Baba stock, and that's 4% of my portfolio.
Yeah, I know. You're just out of control. You're worse than me, Kevin, Jay.
I know,
No,
right?
so for context, for people that are watching, there's this YouTuber called Meet Kevin. He's like this guy that always makes these stupid faces on his thumbnails. And he talks a lot about like the current goings on in the market, which, not a big deal, whatever. That's short-term crap that I don't care about. But it was hilarious because he had this guest on named Kevin O'Leary. And if you don't know who Kevin O'Leary is, he's like this big-time investor finance dude. And they were talking about diversification. And Kevin Leary's big on, he's more of a decent investor. He's like, you should be diversified and yada, yada. And Kevin's like, well, I have 48% of my stock portfolio in Tesla. What do you think about that, Kevin? And Kevin just basically shut him down. He was like, you should probably fix that. That is a terrible idea. And Kevin's like, oh, what? And he was like reacting and making all these weird faces like he was offended. But he basically just got called out live for being a freaking moron and not knowing anything about investing. And of course, he has a YouTube channel.
Dude, that's the worst thing about, like, people were asking me, why are you hating on Jeremy? And I go, for a couple of reasons, and it's the same reason I'm going to start hating on Meet Kevin. It's because they actually don't know what they're doing, and they're going to lose people money. The Plain Bagel, I just watched a video that has an important point that I forgot to bring up with somebody. Just because a stock is right for me or an index fund is right for me doesn't mean it's right for you. Like, I would encourage somebody to take more risk that's 18 years old, maybe have a portfolio allocated to 10% stocks, just because you can afford to take that risk. And it depends on how much money you make. If I'm a millionaire making hundreds of thousands of dollars per YouTube video I put out, I can afford to YOLO into something. But a person who's on a tight budget can't take that risk. So it's like this dude, I just like, why are you listening? On the 48 or 22% of your portfolio alone, you should be out on somebody. Unless they're like a PhD in finance and they got a really good reason for their doing it. I still wouldn't have 22% of my portfolio.
No, because the whole reason of diversification, you still have, what is it called? Idiosyncratic risk, which is like the risk that even though you may have done the best analysis of a stock, something can still go wrong that nobody expects. So even if you're a genius, all stock picking is based on, future expectations. And even the most intelligent person can be completely wrong. And if you have 20% of your portfolio in one stock, you're done.
Dude, yeah, well, I say this to people and they look at me weird. I go, every single stock that you buy is gambling. It's poker. It's a skill game with an element of luck, because there is the stupid thing Rumsfeld said that when asked about the Iraq war, there's known knowns, known unknowns, known unknowns, and then unknown unknowns. I bring this up about Tesla all the time. Okay, you're making the argument that Tesla is a great investment. I'm making the argument that it isn't. I'm going to be proven right over time. But what happens if Elon Musk passes away in a helicopter crash tomorrow? That stock zeros.
Oh yeah, it would definitely tank. I don't know if it would zero, but it would definitely.
I'm being hyperbolic.
Yeah.
It's not, but you would see. I'm betting that if something happened to Elon, you'd see a 90% decline in that stock.
Yeah, or there'd be 100% decline in Dogecoin because Elon's like the big daddy behind that stupid piece of crap, which we should definitely talk about today.
Dude, I bought it just to be funny. I'm up like 27% on it. I'm just gonna
Jay, you can't admit that to people, okay? We're not allowed to buy cryptocurrency.
I bought $80 worth.
What do you have like $100? What do you have like $100 now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was like people are when. This is another thing I'll flat tell people. If you're looking at crypto and you're saying, I'm going to straight gamble on this and speculate, and it's a small percentage of my portfolio, I have a problem with it. Like that Graham Stephan dude, I think 2% of your portfolio is way too much allocated to a gamble. But if that's what you're going to do, I would look at somebody like, I don't have a problem with that. It's just the people like, another indication, Andre G does not know what he's doing when he's got like $500,000 in Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, he's a huge crypto shill. Like he's always pumping it on his channel, and of course it's in his best interest to do so because the more people he convinces to buy it, the better off he's going to be. Which I think is incredibly scummy. That's why I made that video on Dogecoin. I think it's just it's disgusting.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's just gross. Like, it's I was part screwing around, but at the same time, like, it really is disgusting when you have a big YouTuber like, oh yeah, buy this, and they're literally doing it for personal gain and they're screwing over their fan base. But people love it.
The only money I'm willing to make off of is like commercials, but I'm never going to pump if mine and your channel blew up and I got like 100K subscribers and somebody came to me with some BS investment and they offered me a lot of money, I might do a sarcastic video on it, but I'm not gonna take their money. And if they did give me their money, I'd give it away to the fans.
We'd basically be sellouts if we freaking did something like that. The whole point of our channels is 95% index investing. And if we what about this hot stock? I think we would lose instant credibility. And I'm not going to do it because I don't believe in it. And I'm not going to preach it if I don't believe in it.
Dude, like I told you, 4% of my portfolio is on Alibaba, and that's because I got ridiculous. If somebody asked me, like, should I allocate 4% to Alibaba? I'd be like, no, you should allocate less than 1%. So it's like, yeah, I'll happily keep doing this forever with less than 1,000 subscribers before I'll go down that road where I'm going to put somebody else's future in jeopardy because I just think it's such a scumbag move. It's the reason why I bought Ryan Scribner's course and gave it away for free, because it is to charge somebody $297 for basically what is a C+ project at the local community college on investing when you could buy this book.
Oh, wait, book check. Book check.
Book check. You could buy that.
Book, everybody. This is my scam, okay? I'm telling you to buy a book that teaches my investing philosophy. And it's what, $10? But, I'm screwing you over, not meet Jeremy or meet Kevin.
So if you had $297 to allocate learning how to invest, you could get a literal crate of used books from the greatest investors of all time. You could get Investing for Dummies thrown in there, like all of Peter Lynch's books, all of Benjamin Graham's books, you name it. And
or even better, you can go to the library. So like I've been going there a lot. I've read a ton of books and it's been completely free. And then my library also has like a Morningstar free subscription. So I'd
be all over that.
Yeah, it's I mean, like I don't really buy individual stocks, so it's not that useful, but it's still cool to go on there and like poke around and look at stocks and see what like some analysts are thinking about them.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's you know, a lot of these guys are young, and I don't. Well, they were when they started. I don't think they thought about the consequences, and I think there's going to be my personal, you know, my personal opinion about the next decade. I see growth for maybe another year, but I don't see how prices are going to justify growing for the next 10 years, which is a good thing for me. But a lot of these guys are buying into stocks now that are way overpriced. And, you know, it's just, to me, it's unconscionable. And you know who's even worse that I just found out about? The Let's Talk Money guy who's a CPA.
I've never heard of that guy. Is he a big YouTuber, or is he kind of like a small?
Yeah,
friend?
he's big, and he's a certified public accountant, and he's out there talking about like these dividend stocks. Okay, dude, if you're a CPA, then you know that that's a tax inefficient way to invest.
Maybe he doesn't. I mean, if you're not a tax person, I mean, and I'm not a tax person professionally, but once you take the exam, a lot of people forget a lot of that crap. So, and the CPA, like we're not really trained as like finance people, you know. Like I'm not as good at doing financial modeling as a finance person. We just know how to look at balance sheets and look at past performance.
Yeah, I get all that, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, on a level, but this guy's got a master's degree at that level of education, and he's got a YouTube channel. You'd think he would, you know, like, I'll give you an example. I told you about, I didn't know what a gamma squeeze was when a dude mentioned it at work. And then I go, what's a gamma squeeze? And he goes, oh, it has something to do with the puts and the options. He goes, you majored in finance. Why don't you know that? And I go, because I actually know how to invest. That's gambling. That's
I'm
why
an
I don't
investor,
know.
not a gambler. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe, but I just think it's a horrible thing to do, to build up an audience and put somebody else's future in jeopardy and just soak your fans. Like Jeremy's the worst about it. He's just, because they were asking me, why do you hate this guy so much? And I go, because I actually understand what he's doing to people's futures.
Honestly, I think Meet Kevin is worse than Jeremy, because Jeremy, at least, you know, he invests in a ton of different stocks. So at least he's diversified, and at least his followers are probably a little diversified. Whereas Meet Kevin has half of his stocks in Tesla, you know, and then like I forgot what company it was, but he has $500,000 in a stock option on one stock. It's like, oh my God.
Even with a $20 million net worth, that is stupid. Now, my problem with Jeremy is the $15,000 for his stock market group. I mean,
yeah, I mean that's pretty criminal. Like, but the funny thing is, that is still cheaper than an average financial advisor, because like over your lifetime, they're going to take thousands of dollars. So if you paid $15,000 up front, that would be a huge discount to what people are normally getting.
It is, but in the sense of you and I know this. Like, hey, this is what I do at work because I don't feel like explaining stuff. I think they'll ask me a question and I'll go to bogleheads.org, and in 1 hour you will know everything that you need to know about investing to retire a millionaire.
Yeah, or just read a couple of the books, like Boglehead books. They're not that long and they break it down super easy. That's all you got to do. But it's hard for people because like people are very short-term focused. They see a stock go up and they want that. They want the huge gains. And they can't understand that you can actually build massive wealth by just consistently buying boring stuff. They can't comprehend that.
Well, you know, I was telling you, I'm up almost 100% on Bank of America, and it pisses me off.
Like, what? I think it's overvalued now. Sell it.
I think it might be.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would do it. Like if I see, because like I have like maybe $3,000 in Alibaba. If I saw that and I was like, wow, this looks expensive now after a huge run up, I'm probably going to sell it. I mean, I'm just going to use it to screw around.
Yeah, if it went up to like $700 a share, I think I'd probably take my profits at that point and just be like, all right, lock that into a low cost index fund, no regrets. But, you know, it was like Bank of America when I was buying it. It was P ratio was 11. It was $23 and $24 a share. And I was locking in a good dividend at like 3.5%. And I was like, all right. And then it just went on this run up. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You know what made me happy, though, was I found out Warren Buffett put a ton of money into VNQ, the Vanguard real estate ETF.
Did he?
I was like, yes, this man thinks just like I do. I just put in 10% like, 6 months ago as part of my Roth portfolio.
I took your advice on that. I put $6,000 in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt. Real estate is done very well, and it is the thing I like about it is it has low correlation to the overall market. I mean, it had a pretty high correlation in the Great Recession because it was all about real estate, but historically the correlation has been low, and you can see it. Like usually VT will be up, V&Q will be down, and vice versa, which I kind of like.
Oh, I should mention, if you're watching this and you buy REITs, make sure you only buy them in your tax advantaged account.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone should do everything in tax advantage, but yeah, REITs are very tax inefficient.
Yeah, because they're unqualified dividends, and now that Biden wants to jack not that it's really going to affect the average person that much, but it's like, so yeah, all these guys out there, they don't even mention that. They're like, oh, REITs pay dividends. And I'm like, come on, dude.
The average person's logic is the higher the dividend, the better it is. That's what they think, and that's entirely false. I tell everybody, if you think dividends are great, go look at AT&T stock. Now, it pays a high dividend, and that's so great. The stock has been consistently downtrending because the dividend reduces the value of the stock. So you need to get total return.
Remember when we told Nate, I told Nate on here, I'm like, it's a honey trap. It's a value trap. And, he didn't know what a value trap is, and it was hard for me to articulate. It's just a stock that on the surface looks like a good deal, but you hold it forever and it never increases in value because it really wasn't a good stock. And yeah, I was looking at AT&T, and then I just started looking more into it, and I'm like, these guys are drowning in debt. Why would I buy a company that's drowning in debt?
I mean, everything that I don't like about dividend stock, everything I don't like about individual stocks, AT&T magnifies that. It's high debt, it's got a massive dividend that's tax inefficient. Been in a consistent downtrend. I don't even know if it has like any massive profit growth or potential profit growth. So there's just nothing there that entices me to buy that.
Yeah, dude. If I was going to buy somebody in that sector, I'd buy Verizon. And I think Warren Buffett bought Verizon when it was down.
I was looking at I haven't bought it, but I was looking at like Nintendo and Sony, and they're actually trading They're actually trading at pretty low price to earnings, and their PEG ratios aren't that bad either. I don't know why the stocks are down. I haven't done that much research or why they're so cheap, but I'm sure there's a reason. But I don't think Nintendo is going anywhere.
Wow, I just told you, I'm like, I need to work on lowering my exposure in my portfolio to individual stocks right now. So, I mean, unless something came along that I thought there was going to 10x over the next decade, I'm not buying it for probably another year.
Well, to be honest, there's not many deals out there. Like you've mentioned that before, and honestly, the more I invest, the more I learn that there's very few deals. You have to be very analytical, and you have to jump on the opportunity when it arises. Because the vast majority of the time, stocks that are trading at low PEs, they're usually doing that for a reason. It's not just low PE equals good. a lot of the times the stock's at a low PE because something bad happened and the stock sold off. You know, you got to be really careful.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to crush my TSP. Well, once I get everything done that I need to do, I still have to take a tree down. And because I bought back my time, I accumulated credit card debt. So I got like $7,500, which I should have paid off by June or July. But
they didn't give you a payment? Because like I remember there was an option where you could pay it off.
I decided to pay it off all at once and be done with it.
Whatever, as long as you don't pay too much interest.
No, it's credit card interest. It's not good, but it's only going to be for a couple of months. It's not like I'm carrying that year over year. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. By the end of this year, I'll be down to just living off my disability money and just straight banking my entire paycheck, which that might be the serious part of my channel where I go, okay, I'm going to show you what good investing is and how boring it is. You know, and just have like my TSP on a spreadsheet. Okay, I put in this much on this day. This is what it's currently worth. This is how you invest. And it's boring. Every 2 weeks, do one of those.
I mean, I'm always tempted to show my portfolio, but I'm always scared. It's like if you show people how much money you have, they might
do this.
I don't know.
Do this. Just be like, I'm going to show you what good investing is. Don't even put in what you actually have now. Just say, look, I've been doing this for years. We're going to start from scratch today. And I'm just going to max my TSP every month and just show people how much it's accumulating.
I could actually do that. So I have my Army TSP, which has a pretty big balance, but my federal TSP, my federal government is, you know, I mean, it's got a decent amount because I've been working there for 3 years, but it's still a lot less. So if I wanted to start and show growth, I think that would be the one to do it.
Do it with that one. Do it with the smaller one. Because all right, so this would be my thing. Who do you think you would personally relate to more? Somebody who's like, okay, this is my 100K portfolio that I've been investing in for 12 years, or guys, I'm going to show you how to build wealth. All right, I have money in another account, but we're just going to use an Excel spreadsheet starting from today and just go with the dates every time you put the $750 in to max it out. And then just show how that just keeps accumulating. Show like when they throw in like your dividend and then your capital gains and then how much you're getting from the matching.
I mean, would you get mad if I did that? Because like that's your idea. I don't want to
Dude, I don't care if I do a YOLO into a stock video and then you do it right after I do it. It is what it is. Your success helps me and my success helps you. That's how.
That's true. I mean, if either one of us gets big, I mean, we're just going to feed each other. So.
Yeah, man, if I ever got into a position where I was like a touring stand-up comedian and people were like watching my stuff, it'd be like, if you want to learn great investing from somebody who knows, go to Strongman Personal Finance, watch him. He's showing you exactly what to do and how to do it.
But he doesn't have any Tesla, Jay. He's stupid.
But you do.
Well, actually, yeah, I do.
You do and I do. I wish I didn't. I wish I had zero exposure to Tesla, but unfortunately, I own it.
Yeah, it pissed me off. When I saw it come into the top 10 on VT, I was like, are you kidding me? Why is this stock in my beautiful, beloved ETF in the top 10?
Dude, that's why I'm really considering, just to balance out my portfolio, hammering the Vanguard VYMI, the Vanguard High Dividend International, because it has nothing that's in its top holdings, nothing is in America. And it only has like 9% America exposure, United States exposure. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm big on international, especially now. Like, I think our stock market here is stupidly expensive. I can't believe it keeps going up. And I guess other other long-term investors are thinking the same thing because it's just incredible. I look at my phone, my Robinhood, and then every day, the stock market's up 1-2%. It's like, oh my God, this can't go on forever.
Yeah, and all the Gen Zers are going to learn is that your money doesn't go as far. So so over time, you're going to get less of a return because the market is like this. It's easy to look like a genius in a bull market.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's a genius in a bull market because everybody's making money. That's why all these all these YouTube channels popping up are a sign to me that we're in a bubble. All the classic signs. You have a bunch of people sprouting up. You have massive retail investor interest. You have these massive gains. It's all reminiscent. I think SPACs are exploding.
I don't remember when we got asked about SPACs. I'm like, I don't even really understand what the special acquisition company. I don't really understand it because I'm not interested. Like Warren Buffett says, stay in your circle of competence. My circle of competence is bogleheads.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of SPACs is it's just a way to bring a private company public without going through a traditional IPO. That's how I understand it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really give a crap, like you said, because I don't invest in SPACs or many individual stocks, so it doesn't matter.
And another reason why it's in a bubble is why don't you buy crypto? I don't really understand it. What's the currency of the future?
It's like, just think of it as like it's like you're investing in yen or you're investing in yuan or whatever. That's all it is. You're buying a currency. What does a currency do? Nothing. That's all it is.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's a currency. And then here's another sign of the times. NFTs, Nifties.
Oh my God. Those things are so
Nifty
stupid.
market, like what? You own it's like art. Okay, well, let me tell you something about art. Art is stupid too. All a Jackson Pollock painting is just a dick measuring contest, just a dick measuring tool that some rich douchebag throws over his mantelpiece, and he's got enough money to say, you see how much money I have? I bought something that somebody threw paint at. Like, that's all a Nifty is too. It's just a flossing. It's not worth anything. Why would I own that?
I mean, when I see all these like big people buying NFTs or whatever, like whoever buys that, I know is just an idiot and a terrible investor. I don't care how rich you are. If you're putting a lot of your money in that garbage, you're an idiot and you are not somebody to follow as a financial mentor. Well,
I mean, dude, if I had $1 billion, I'd rather put like a old school movie poster over my mantle. Like, what? Why don't you put a painting up there? I like that, the outlaw Josie Wales poster there and the, Enter the Dragon poster over there. Same thing. It's just a picture.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, when I get rich, not if. Like my goal is not to buy expensive crap. My goal is to I want to travel to this country. Let's go. Doesn't matter because I have a bunch of money. Or I want to go hike this or run this trail. That's all I want to do. Like, I don't give a crap about, material possessions.
In my ideal world, I'd be a wealthy working comedian doing financial YouTube videos and driving like Joe Rogan nuts because he's like, dude, you have millions of dollars in the bank, but you're driving this beater pickup truck. So I could just look at him and be like, you know why I do that? To annoy you.
Yeah, dude. Like today, I was driving my crap car. So the door handle ripped off. I already told you that.
Yeah.
So I reach across to get my wallet. I put it in the glove compartment. That freaking broke. So it's like hanging off. I have to that car is just a disaster. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude. I would love to be like a wealthy dude that shows up somewhere with other wealthy dudes and they're parking their Ferrari and I pull up in a banged up pickup truck. Like, hey, what's up, guys?
I wouldn't even hang out with wealthy people, dude, because like a lot of those people are status morons. I would have nothing in common with them, especially if they're like old money. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
No, it's like you're not gonna. I don't golf because I can't. But you wouldn't catch me at the golf course. I'd be like, these people are all fake. I understand wanting to be an actor if that's what you want to do. I don't in any way understand how a lot of these actors that have realistic views on life, like Chris Pratt, I don't know how he navigates the Hollywood world, because I would fail in it. Because I would just tell somebody, like, right to their face, like, dude, I'm going to be blunt with you. You're putting on a persona. This isn't you. And it's really annoying.
You got to be real, bro. You got to show them your heart.
Yeah, like it's and there's I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't. If you have a lot of money, there's nothing wrong with having a really awesome car. It's just when you do it to impress other people. It's when I can tell you're doing that to try and impress me that annoys me. And to be perfectly honest with you, your Ferrari will never impress me. A 67 retro modded GTO would impress me, but because I like what I like. But I mean, it's like, oh, dude, look at my new Corvette. Yeah, perfect example. My neighbor, she just had an intervention with me. She said, hey, can you hire a lawn care guys for your backyard? Because I got snakes. I go, oh, my bad. I'm like, I'll take care of that tomorrow. They're coming over for my lawn, apparently. But her grandson drives these huge F-350 trucks, and I'm like, that's $100,000 wasted.
How is he able to afford that? I mean, does he work, or is he like a young kid?
She's probably in her 60s, maybe early 70s. And so I'm guessing her grandson is somewhere in his 20s or early 30s. I'm assuming he does relatively well, but I still was talking to her about it. And I'm like, does he have $1 million in the bank? And she goes, no, not even close. I go, then he can't afford that truck.
He's going to come fight you if she ever talks to him.
Yeah.
In our next podcast, like, what happened, Jay?
Black eye. But it's that is, you rip on him, rightly so, but he makes the occasional really good point. Dave Ramsey, unless you got $1 million in the bank, you have no business buying a new car.
Yeah, like I always say, his debt advice is awesome, except for paying off your house early. But, the only thing I dump on him is investing. And I've noticed on my channel, my most watched videos are when I'm crapping on Dave Ramsey. So those videos aren't going to end. I'm going to keep attacking all his BS because, like, I think that would be a pretty good catalyst for growth. I mean, like, I've gotten like 500-600 views on videos I've made. It's like, holy crap, Dave Ramsey's a cash cow,
Well, see, I didn't know what he was doing because I didn't pay attention to him that much until you told me that he was pushing people towards his financial products instead of giving people good, solid advice. And like we say, there's nothing wrong with getting rich, giving your financial advice. That's our goals. But to bilk your audience is just...
Yeah, so I think he doesn't employ financial advisors. He has a referral service called SmartVestor where he pushes people to find a advisor that he is approved. And of course, he probably gets some kind of like referral fee or something. So yeah, I mean, he is making money off of giving people crap advice, but he's not the one providing them. He's just the one referring them.
But still, you have to know ultimately that going to a financial advisor is going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the life. I know it would be a fight. That's why I don't talk to my mom and my stepdad about it, but they've given me advice and I'm like, yeah, you're wrong. And they're like,
about financial, like, did they want you to get a financial advisor?
just things they've told me to do with my money. And I'm like, but I'm shaking my head at dinner. I'm like, but you're wrong. My mom keeps insisting to me that cash is king, and I keep insisting to her that cash is trash.
Yeah, cash is trash in the long run. Cash is okay in like a year or two, but anything beyond that, yeah, it's trash.
I mean, if I was saving for something for a year or two, to be honest with you, I'd rather put it in tax-free municipal bonds than hold it in cash.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I think you'll still get a higher yield from a high yield savings account than you would from muni bonds. I would have to look. I haven't looked.
Yeah, we would have to look at that. I don't know. I'm not willing to die on that hill, but there's very few hills I'm willing to die on, to be honest with you. But
it's like that with muni bonds.
Yeah, she knows. She knows. I just throw money into index funds, and she's like, I don't understand why you won't take my advice and build up cash. And I'm like, because no, I don't want a lot of cash sitting around.
So there's intermediate term muni bonds. I mean, it does have it has a just under 1% yield.
Damn, I was looking at some of them I thought they said 2% yield on them.
That might be long-term muni bonds. I'm looking at an intermediate term muni bond fund, but the expense ratio is 0.09, so you're not getting that full yield. And then you have principal risk if interest rates go up.
Yeah.
Where it's cash, high yield savings, it's not. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's just there.
I stand corrected.
That's right, boy.
That's what I said. I wasn't willing to die on that hill. And that's another thing. I don't care about being wrong on things because it's just a teachable moment when you are. People have this, they get their ego caught up into like whether they're right about something. And I'm like, dude, you're going to be my favorite saying, life is failure punctuated by intermittent success.
I mean, even if you put money in munis, it's not the end of the world.
No, but
yeah, like what's going to happen? You still have a 95-year portfolio, 95% in index funds. Oh, we got some muni bonds.
Dude, that dude I was arguing about on Twitter with, he quit after I posted the top marginal income taxes. Because he was talking about
we're going to go up too.
Oh yeah, dude. Think about it like this. If Biden raises it to 43%, okay, if you live in a high income tax state, California and New York, I'm looking at you. You're giving half of your money to the government. Half. How is that fair? I don't care.
You're supposed to do that. That makes you a good person, Jay, okay? Just give them all your money.
Yeah, and it's like this dude didn't understand. He thinks that by taxing the millionaires and billionaires, you're going to solve poverty. And I'm like, dude, the government is just going to waste it. If I thought me paying a little bit higher taxes was going to help this poor person over here who's doing everything that they should be doing, not buying expensive phones, not buying Nikes or lottery tickets, but is working, I don't have a problem pitching in for that person. But what the government is going to do is, we raise taxes, so let's spend more. Like, no, I'm not giving you any more money unless you start paying down the debt. You're a pauper.
Well, I mean, I was looking at, so they're about to propose like another big spending bill, and there's like 2 or 3 bills. Like they just did the COVID thing, which is 1.9 billion. Then they want to do infrastructure. That's going to be trillions more. And then they want to do this other thing where they raise taxes to pay for like child care and child tax credits. It's like, I don't understand how you guys can just keep racking up this massive debt. And you know for a fact they're not going to be able to actually pay it with revenues. They're gonna have to go into more debt to pay these programs.
California devotes the most amount of money. I just learned this. The most amount of money, I think from Rogan. Most amount of money goes towards homelessness. They allocate like $400 million a year to solving the homeless problem. Yet now they have the largest homeless community.
Well, yeah, because aren't they like allowed to like do whatever they want? That's probably why they're there.
Oh yeah, it's because you as the taxpayers, like And you're the productive member of society, but you're the bad guy if you bought property and you want to evict people camping on your property.
Yeah, I mean, but that state is so leftist. I don't know how anybody that's like entrepreneurial minded or business minded, why they would even consider living there. I mean, yeah, the weather's nice, but okay, go to Florida, go to Georgia, South Carolina, go to more conservative places that also have nice weather. Don't get creamed out of all your money.
Okay. I don't know how much I like what you just said, telling Californians to come to Florida.
It's inevitable, man.
Leave your California bullshit over in California. Don't bring it here.
It's already happening. Like they're all the liberal states are like bleeding people, and they're all moving to conservative areas. Like it's just inevitable. So maybe the entire country is going to be blue because of California. That's all you need to tip the scales on all the.
I have hopes for California turning back red when people are like, okay, this is basically turned into Mad Max. It's insanity. The DA out there wants to defund the police for gang intervention problems. I'm like, okay, first off, I'll end the gang problem for you overnight. End the war on drugs. That's really how easy it is. But it's like you don't need a gun because we have police. So we defunded the police.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully that's only in really leftist areas. Like we have police here and everybody likes them. This is an 80% red town and there's no problems. And nobody's talking about defunding them. So my advice is if you hear that coming out of your state council or whatever, or city council, just get out of that city. It's already fallen.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we lived in a world where you didn't need police, but unfortunately we don't live in that world. I mean,
it's a lunatic argument. It really is. I mean, that's why it's not even worth engaging it because it's so ludicrous. It's like, okay, yeah, we need police. We need a court system. We need the rule of law. There's things that you need to build a society, and police are one of them. So if you hear somebody going so radical where they don't even want police, like it's just no. You're not even worth debating with. You're so stupid and brainwashed.
Well, now these lefties are trying to, and here's the thing I was thinking about the other day, because I've been trying to nail down my political beliefs. I said it to my family. They said, you're probably right on that. I'm probably what's considered a classic liberal. Like if you listen to what a lot of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, it's pretty classically liberal. But I'm a Republican now. Because they went so far that I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are thinking. Like, the reason that college is expensive is government intervention.
They also want to make in that bill they're thinking about. They're going to release to the public shortly. They want to make the first 2 years of community college free. So that's going to jack up the price of community college. Well, I guess that doesn't make sense, but if it's like a certain income level and everybody else has to pay for it out of pocket, yeah, it would jack up the price. Why? I mean, it would jack up the price anyway. If the colleges know they can get, infinite demand, I guess, it's still got to be paid.
When people talk about it, the UK had to reduce how much they were supplementing it because it became too expensive. My problem with free education is this. Are you going to be an engineer? Okay, I don't have a problem with some of my labor going to produce engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants. That's stuff we need. What I have a problem with is why should I at all be forced to pay for your trans study degree?
Yeah, I mean that's why they want it though, because people they just want to go to college and get it paid for. They don't care. Whereas like the right thing to do is to only like maybe give tax credits to people that are majoring in STEM or something like that. That would be smart. I would be behind that. But everybody wants the college dream, so we have to pay for everybody's freaking college.
You know what I would do is if people would listen to me is I would say get rid of the subsidized loans. We'll keep the debt, your student debt. Like if you're a doctor and we'll just say to you, like, okay, you got $400,000 in student debt. If you just come and work at the VA for 10 years, we'll wipe that debt clean, and then you're free to either stay within the system or go start your own practice. Same thing with other professions that we need. Like what scared me most about, I don't think it's going to happen because I think the United States is dynamic enough to survive this, but was the talk about math being racist. And I'm like, okay, let me explain something to everybody watching. Every civilization that has stopped studying math has gone into decline universally throughout history. Math is what enables us to talk through the internet today. Math is what enables the modern world. And it disturbs me that people are now going, well, we shouldn't teach math.
I mean, you're going to have idiots that do that, but I think, you talk to the average person, they're like, yeah, that's stupid. Like, it's probably a very, very, very small minority of people that, believe math is racist, number one, and number two, think we don't need to teach it. I mean, everybody knows math is hard and math makes everything run, but a lot of people just don't want to do it. They don't want to spend the time studying, and that's why they always dump on it. Oh, it's boring. No, it's just too hard.
That's when I started to learn to like suffering. When I went back to school and I was pre-calc, I didn't really have to study until college algebra. Once I got into college algebra, then it was 10 to 15 hours a week. Pre-calculus was 20 to 25 hours a week. And then calculus was like, again, 20 to 25 hours a week of studying. And I'm like, this sucks. But for some reason, it's making me a better human being.
Yeah, well, it's so worth it, too, because once you actually have a skill, people pay you for it. It's really nice. It's like, wow, I put in all this effort, and now I actually get paid for it. Unlike people that go to college for BS, they put in some effort because, the degrees aren't that hard. But then they graduate, they don't have a job. It's like, well, you should have just done the harder route and studied math and then got paid the big bucks. Because after you finish the studying, you know it. You've already learned the material. It's easy now because you've done it. And you get paid for it. It's like, wow, imagine that.
Yeah, I've often wondered, like it would take me a little bit to get into just algebra shape again. But I often wonder, like I want to ask these YouTubers if I put like a mathematical formula in front of them, if they could even do it.
Of course not. I don't know why they're popular. I mean, maybe they just got lucky on the YouTube algorithm or something, but a lot of them are just complete idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. But now that they're big, basically it's a momentum thing. It's like a momentum stock. Once you get big on YouTube, you just keep getting bigger, even if you're an idiot.
That's why I really like the Plain Bagel guy, because that guy is a certified financial analyst now. And he like what I like about him is he explains why things are stupid. And he explains why he doesn't put his portfolio online in his last video. And it's because of my job, it would then create a moral hazard for him.
Yeah. Me and you can do that because, I'm in the TSP. Wow. And I don't do investing at my job, but yeah, I could see that. And I actually I've always kind of wanted to do the CFA, but I don't think it would like really increase my income, but it's kind of a challenge that I've always had in the back of my head. It's like, well, if I really want to be really good in investing or at least understand everything perfectly, that's the certification to get. But I don't think it's worth the effort, to be honest.
Not with a kid coming up, the fact that you have a YouTube channel, the fact that you're now an author. How much time do you have? I'm amazed at all the shit you do anyways. I'm like, I could barely find time to send an email in my day, and I'm not doing anything.
I mean, the reason I can do a lot is because, I'm not mentally exhausted from my job. That's the main reason, because, it's not hard, at least for me. So it's like, okay, I finished my 8 hours of work. Now I'm still energetic. Well, maybe I'll do YouTube, or maybe I'll tutor for a couple hours. But, yeah, if I worked a hard job, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah, I got to start concentrating on sleep, dude. I haven't been writing stand up. Like my pockets, I've been getting home. I've been getting hammered too much, man. I got to cut it back.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Like honestly, I used to drink a lot more, but now my hangovers are just getting worse. I mean, I still drink. I still drink a 6-pack here and there, but it's not like I used to. I can't do it.
Dude, I'm just waiting for that federal legalization of weed. Then it's like
You can come up here. Well, I mean, you're federal, but they legalized it up here in Virginia.
Yeah, dude. I wish, man. I wish. Because that you don't understand, like for writing stand up, how I do it, my process was when I first started out, before I worked for the government. Maybe and then I'd go, all right, write down ideas, and then completely sober, I'd come back and write them out.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's better than alcohol for like a casual drug, but we can't do it, and I've never done it, and I probably won't be able to do it until I leave the military, the federal service, all of that.
Yeah, and I always looked at it like when I was in the service, and people were talking about like, weed. I'm like, dude, the United States military could order you to quit drinking. You signed the contract.
I mean, they could. They're not going to.
There's too much. I couldn't resist the. You saw that meme I posted of Matthew McConaughey where the NCO. You look hungover, but do I look like I'm here? Deformation.
I can't believe some of the guys that would show up. They would drink all night and then they would go to PT. It's like you had 1 hour of sleep and you're drunk off your ass. How are you working out right now? Like I would die at PT sometimes, even after I didn't drink.
Dude, there were a few times where I hit it a little bit too hard the night before, and PT was just miserable. And it's the Air Force PT. It's, all right, go run 1.5 miles. We're going to do like 25 push-ups and 25 sit-ups, and I'm just suffering.
Yeah, I mean, like our PT, we did like one road march every week, and we did like a one long run. We did sprints, lifting. Like, can you imagine being hungover and doing a road march?
That is the great thing about the military, though. You get paid to work out, and then people were complaining about it. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking to myself, you realize we're getting paid to work out right now, and you're complaining? Why would you complain that somebody was paying you to work out?
My only complaint is it's in the morning. Now, if they let us work out like in the afternoon, I'll be like, hey, yeah, let's go. Because I'm just not a morning person, but at the same time, it is nice to be done working out at 7:30, and then you have your whole day ahead of you. It just sucks to get up in the morning.
Yeah, I agree with you. And my other complaint was the workouts we did were stupid, and people would probably get mad at me, and because I wanted the workouts to be harder. I would have been way happier doing things like having to run 2 ammo cans, like 100 yards, doing stuff like that, having to push a sled X number, having to flip tires. You let me do that kind of stuff, and I'm happy.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if I'm going to get up early, we better do a real freaking workout. Like, in my old reserve unit, sometimes, we'd be like, all right, we have PT at 7. And I'd be like, okay, whatever. And then I'd show up, and it'd be some stupid crap. And I'd be like, you're telling me I had to get up at like 5 in the morning and not even get a workout? Like, come on. At least tear me up if I'm going to show up.
Yeah, like, I don't know that I could have gone. Obviously, my body's not that durable and I'm not that mentally tough, but more likely than not, if I was a SEAL, at least one day a week, people would be like, probably Friday, people would be like, yo, why are you trying to work out with Goggins? And be like, because this dude actually works out. I'd be like, this is my problem with people a lot of time. Don't make me show up to formation to do some weak ass workout. I want an actual workout, man. I want to feel like I worked out afterwards. I want to exert energy. And like I said, I would be way happier. All right, we're going to do a 5-mile ruck march. Then when we get back, then we're going to hit the obstacle course. That would make me happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth your time if you're not going to work out, especially in the military when you're trapped. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, can I go for a run instead? No, you need to stay with the unit, boy. Then you have to participate in all the stupid stretching you do. And it's like, I went to this military training when I was in college. It was like a summer camp, a
Mhm.
leadership camp. And I got fat there, dude, because we didn't do anything. It was so like boring and lame. I gained like 10 pounds of fat at a training camp. And I had trained my butt off to get ready for that. I was maxing my PT test. Once I was done with that, I was a fat boy. I was like, this should not be like this,
Dude, if I was healthy, like if I had my 18-year-old body, like I wouldn't want to be special operations. That's not my personality. But what I would do is I would pay to go through the Hell Week just to see if I could do it.
Oh no, dude! You'd be like 10 hours into that. You'd be like, "What the hell am I doing?"
Dude, I think I can suffer for a week, and that's what I would do. Is I'd just be like, "All right, if I fail out, I fail out." But it's a challenge.
Yeah, I mean that's an extreme challenge. I mean, if you want to do it, you go right ahead. But that just sounds freaking miserable.
But don't you think it'd make you a better person?
I mean, you're already the person you are when you went there. I mean, and if you've already went through hardship, no, it's not going to make you better. It's just going to make you hate your life for a couple days, especially if you've already done similar stuff or been miserable before. Like it's just suffering it's extended suffering for no reason.
Yeah, I still think I would try it if I was healthy and I had the money. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm getting through this. It's just I don't know what's happened to me lately. I was getting annoyed with the guy at the checkout line at Walmart because I'm like, you're soft.
I'm just looking at him or somebody in front of you.
Huh?
You talking about the cashier or somebody?
Yeah, the cashier. I was like, you're soft. And I'm like, it bothers me.
Did you say it to his face? Did you confront him?
No, I wouldn't want to hurt the guy's feelings, but he's a nice guy. I'm like, I think that's what's been, I think this is when I finally realized I'm old. I think all modern music sucks. I think all the new movies suck. I just think I'm just like annoyed with everybody all the time.
Yeah, you're like that South Park episode where everything is poop,
Yeah, that's where I've gotten lately. I'm like looking around and I'm like, listen, not everybody has to be David Goggins, but could you show me that you've been through at least a little adversity in your life and that, you wouldn't completely fall apart if somebody gave you the wrong latte at Starbucks?
Honestly, I think if everybody was forced to go through like infantry basic training in the Army, I mean, it's not the toughest thing in the world, but it could still be tough at times. I mean, if everybody went through that, I don't think we'd have any socialists. I really don't. I think everybody would be like, wow, you actually have to suffer a little bit instead of just being given everything.
I think a lot of, like, there was a guy who was on Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about this camp he runs. And he takes city kids, and they just go, like, running in the mountains, and they wrestle, and they work on a farm. And he goes, you wouldn't believe the change that's happening in these kids. I think if we did more stuff like that, where I know it would have benefited me as a young man if somebody had just said, listen, look, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do in life. Enjoy the grind. Embrace the suck.
So I don't have a big yard. It's actually extremely tiny. I can cut it with a weed whacker in like 5 minutes. But once my son gets old enough, I'm taking him to grandma and grandpa's house. They have a huge freaking yard. And I'm going to give him a push mower and be like, you're going to cut this entire yard by yourself, boy. Just to teach him to like hate his life for it. And I'll probably make him break before that too. Just have him there all.
Dude, if I had a son or a daughter, I told you before, probably won't. I got 2 sleep disorders. But if I had a son or a daughter, I'd come home from work, and when we were eating dinner, talking about our day, I'd be like, what'd you do that sucks today? If they were like, I didn't do anything that sucks, I'd be like, okay, good. We're going to go sit in the sauna for 30 minutes.
Put on your rucksack. We're going.
Yeah. Like, I really would be that father, like, that came home from work. Did you work out today? No? Okay. We're going for a ruck march.
Yeah.
We're going to go for a walk. get a backpack, put some weight in it. We're going for a walk. Dad, it's 90 degrees out. I know.
You know, I think the best thing for like young children is to get them into wrestling. Now, wrestling,
I agree.
it's tough, dude. Like, I don't know if you've done it, but like, it sucks horribly. You know, so if you can do that as a young kid, that'll toughen you up real quick.
Why do you think wrestlers dominate in the UFC? It's solely because they learn to just embrace the grind. Like everybody talks about like the mental toughness of these collegiate wrestlers, even high school wrestlers. I would go so far as I would teach my son or daughter to learn grappling because wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, or any kind of combat sport. Like I honed in on wrestling because it's super intense, you know, but I mean, any combat sport works. You should know how to defend yourself and learn to like get hit a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's the adversity that you learn in there because you're like if you go into a jiu-jitsu class, if you're 18 years old and you never faced adversity, you are just getting manhandled like a toy for the first year.
You should have seen me when I was I had never played. I mean, I did like soccer when I was younger, but nothing like super intense. And then in the 10th grade, I decided to join my high school football team. Dude, those 2-a-days just wrecked me. Like I actually had to take 2 days off from practice because I was so beaten that I couldn't even get out of bed. Like it tore me up, and that opened a whole new world to me. I was like, holy crap.
Dude, football players too, that mental toughness. Like I was thinking about this the other day where I just thought in my head, I go, you know what everybody respects? Grit. Like no matter whether you agree with the person, but just that person that won't quit. Like you look at it in stand-up. When you start coming in and you're doing more and more new material, people are like, dude, you've been doing the work. I see it, man. You're coming in with new shit all the time. They respect it. It's just in everything.
Yeah, and it takes a while to really accomplish anything. Like, look how long we've been on YouTube, and you know we're still small fries. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time to really succeed at anything.
Yeah, when I was watching this quick little video where it's two YouTubers, Ryan Scribner and Nate O'Brien, and they were talking about like it's basically impossible for you to do what we did now in YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like a challenge.
Maybe that's why they got big, is they just started way in the past when there was a lot of, you know, not much competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of them are charisma voids. I don't think that they're two guys that I would ever want to drink with. But, I mean, I just look at it and I'm like, if two guys that, you know, are not probably all that bright, I don't think they are, can do it, I think you and I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, we are better YouTubers than they are. The only difference is they're already so big that they get the views because they're on the top of the search list. You can be the best YouTuber in the world. You can be the smartest guy in the world, the most charismatic. But if you're buried 10,000 down in the search results, you're not going to grow very fast. That's the main thing.
I think what'll happen is with a lot of these guys pumping these stocks, when it either comes to a market correction or a flat decade, which a flat decade is coming. They happen all the time. You know, whether it's this decade or the next, there will be a flat decade or more. I think people are going to be sitting there going, wait, stocks don't go up forever. Like, no, we've been telling you that for, 5 years now at this point. That's when
I'm looking forward to a flat decade, man. Like I'm already positioned where I'll be fine. And if it's flat, I'm just buying shares every 2 weeks on the cheap. And then I know, 15 years from now, I'm sure there's going to be another bull market. At that point, that's when I'm going to get really freaking rich. So yeah, I'm not going to change my style. Like I actually look forward to a flat decade. I can just buy.
Dude, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that the flat decade starts right now. Like I'm hoping for a stock market correction, to be honest with you.
I mean, I'm sitting on a ton of. I've been hoarding cash. Like I still max my TSP, whatever, but I've been just hoarding cash because I'm hoping, maybe there will be a correction. I mean, if there's not, I'll just max my Roth next year. But if there is, then that's a huge opportunity. You know, you
Yeah,
pick
and
$20,000 in VT at a low. I mean,
yeah, I'm waiting for that correction. Like I said, in my Vanguard account, I'm gonna stop buying anything but VYMI, just because of the reason I said, just because it gives me way better markets around the world, emerging markets and everything. But other than that, I'm just crushing the TSP.
yeah, the only thing I don't like about the TSP, now I know we've talked about it, but it doesn't have emerging markets. So the iFund, you're only going to get like Europe, Japan, Australia, Korea, stuff like that, which sucks. So that's why as soon as I leave the federal service, I'm getting rid of the TSP. But it's still good. It's still awesome. You know, you get most of the world.
Well, the reason, I mean, obviously the tax advantage, but that 4% maxing is enormous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love the match. Like I didn't have that in the military. If I had that, dude, I would be so much richer right now. Like I'm really pissed they didn't have they implemented that like what 2 years ago, and I opted out of it because I was like, oh, I'll probably get the pension, but now I feel like an idiot. I should have just taken the freaking match.
Yeah, and I mean, because it's like I want to be in a position when I do draw that pension, however much it is, that just gets put in my Vanguard account. But you're right. When I leave the federal service, I'm rolling all that shit over into my Vanguard account.
That'll be a beautiful day when when you have six figures and you see it pop into your IRA. You're like, ooh, you know.
They're like, where do you want it? I'm a total stock market.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm older, like right now, I have like a little bit of small cap value and a little bit of V and Q. But when I'm older and I maybe throw some bonds in there, yeah, I'm just gonna have it all at VT for my stock portion, just to keep it super simple.
That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, something similar to that. I might just do it a little bit different. I might something similar to just half of it in the total stock market and then half of it into something like VYMI. So that
Yeah, I mean that's almost VT.
Yeah, I want to have something that's a higher world exposure. Like VT still to me contains too much of the United States.
I would say, I mean, instead of doing VT, you could just have a two-fund portfolio where you have, VTI, the total U.S. stock market, and then you can have it's called VXUS, which is the total international. So you could have 50-50 that if you wanted more international exposure. I mean, there's thousands of ways you can do it.
I just think that it's what you said. The U.S. stock market doesn't do well for 10 years. The international's up. So I can just buy whichever one isn't doing well.
Yeah, and the cool thing is about VT, it's like even let's say we're wrong and there's not a flat decade in the U.S. and stocks somehow keep going up for another 10 years. Well, 60% of VT is in the U.S., so you're not missing anything. You just did probably a little bit worse than somebody that's 100% U.S., but you're still more diversified in the event that we're right.
Yeah, and so that's probably what I'm going to do is something like that, where it's just I might even start working on that now, just moving the money around into that. So it's like just easier to keep track of. It's less to think about.
The only reason I'm not 100% VT right now is because it's still pretty top heavy in large caps. That's the only reason I'm not in VT. So I was like, okay, I'm going to throw in a little bit of real estate and then I'm going to throw in small cap value because at least there's it's kind of like, I think they call it the barbell approach, or maybe I'm wrong. It's like you have, a good portion at small caps and the rest are, in that VT where it's weighted to large caps.
See, I don't know too. There's something to be said to a 4-fund approach where your $6,000 goes into your IRA into whatever's up the least, and so it just gives you a little bit more options.
Yeah, I mean it's just tough because the hardest thing in investing is sticking to your plan. So international has just sucked the last couple of years or even decade. But that you have to have the fortitude to keep buying international. because if you don't, that's where you get screwed. So,
well, that's the number one thing about investing. Have a plan that doesn't suck and stick to it. You know, if your plan is to buy 200 individual stocks, your plan sucks. But if your plan is, I don't want to do any work, I'm just going to throw my money at VT. And then you go into work and somebody's like, hey, man, did you get on Tesla? Nah, I just bought VT.
Yeah, I like your idea with the going with the TSP, because like my federal employee one has grown pretty quickly. And all I've done is, put in my TSP contribution every 2 weeks.
Dude, I work with, Kevin. He's way smarter than me. He used to be an electrical engineer, got bored of it, so he went to school for nursing. But he's the one who told me about the gamma squeeze. And he just like looks at me one day and he goes,
"Gamma squeeze."
He goes, I don't know why anybody buying any individual stocks anyways, man. And this dude is a sharp dude who really knows his stuff. And I'm like, you're right. And he was the one, every stock is a gamble. I changed it to, I said to him, it's more like playing poker. It's a skill game with an element of luck.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't understand like why stocks go up. And it's always because of, it's usually because of like surprising moves. But what people don't, or like surprising earnings or whatever. But what people don't, or what people think happens to stocks is they think they're so smart that they can pick a stock. They're like, oh, I see the revenue growth is growing quickly, or the net income is growing quickly. So they buy it. But what they don't factor in is everybody else has the same information. So the current price of the stock matches the market's expectations. It's already priced in. You're not a genius by looking at revenue growth or whatever. That has nothing to do with it.
Well, that's why, and it's also a lack of understanding. We've hit this ad nauseum too. Kathy Woods is an idiot. I just want to be on record saying she's an idiot. And I tell her to her face she's an idiot. Like, if she asked me, why do you keep calling me an idiot? I'd be like, because you run a fund where like 10% of the fund is in Tesla, and you guys, again, don't understand what's going on here when you say Tesla's going to have self-driving cars in 5 years. They're not. They're not going to be all over the roads.
I actually read this I just finished reading this great book about like oil and the future of, automotive stuff. I forgot. I just read it, but I forgot the name. I'll actually send you a picture of it, but it's a great book. And they talk about like Tesla and how, there's not going to be autonomous, AI taxis driving people around anytime soon. That's not going to happen.
The AI right now that's powering that is about as smart as a cockroach, maybe a little bit smarter. And when you look at the exponential curve of technology, you're really not going to get a car capable to be better than a human being. It's going to take a lot of exponential growth. And again, you have other things to factor in. Driving in Austin, Texas is not as hard as driving in the mountains of Colorado. There's so many more variables going on that it's going to take a long time for these machines to actually figure out. Then you run into the problem of few more accidents like we had down in Texas where the two people jacked the vehicle and rode driverless and it crashed and killed them. Few more incidents like that, and then the government is going to get its hands in there. Then it's a bureaucratic nightmare for at least 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, and like overall, there's going to be a slow transition to EVs. It's not going to. I think a lot of people are pricing in that Tesla is going to take over the world in the next 5 years. Like everybody's going to have an EV, and that's just the stupidest assumption. Like it's not going to happen, and nothing happens like that. It takes a lot of time and transition, but whatever.
Even if it did, even if EVs took over 5 years, EVs dominate the market. That doesn't mean Tesla dominates the market. Especially when you get a sweet-looking electric Hummer that doesn't look like some special needs fourth grader designed it.
We're going back to the Hummer versus the Cybertruck debate.
Yeah. It comes on with the Immigrant song from Led Zeppelin. What does the Cybertruck come along with? Like if I want to hop into one of those vehicles, it's sure not the Cybertruck. Like If somebody pulled up to my house with that thing and they were like, dude, check out my new Cybertruck, I'd be like, get that ugly, tasteless piece of crap off my property. Go park it down the street. I don't even want it in front of my house.
I swear, one day I'm going to come to your house with a Cybertruck, even if I have to rent it for a couple days.
I'd just be sitting there looking at that thing like, this is so just unaesthetically pleasing.
But it's Elon Musk, bro. That means it's the best. You can't question it. All right. He believes in Doge and he runs Tesla, the two greatest things ever invented. So
I just picture Elon Musk recruiting designers for the Cybertruck. Like he's waiting on the corner at school for the short bus to show up. Like, hey, why don't you come in here and draw me up your fantasy vehicle? I'll give you guys a day or two. And with crayons, they drew that piece of crap up.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, do you use that for your comedy bits? That would actually be pretty funny if you talked about that.
No, I probably should. Like,
I think it's funny. You should definitely try it out.
Dude, it's like, I just look at that thing and I'm like, who wants to... I get calls from dealers. They're like, hey, we got a couple trucks that we'd want you to come in and look at. I go, all right, first off, are they in the $6,000 range? And they'll go, no. And I go, okay, what are they? And they're like, it's a 2010 Dakota. And I'm like, I told you very specifically, I'm looking for a 4-wheel drive, late 90s, early 2000s models of a Dakota because I like the looks. I don't want anything else.
Here, hold on a second. Let me pull up something. Don't.
Dude, that thing makes my skin crawl. Seriously, it's you went and you took kids off the short bus and had them design a pickup truck. If Elon Musk, if I was talking to his mom and Elon Musk was standing there, I would look at her and be like, you need to slap your kid in the face for that design.
Look at that. Oh, look at that dead. Woo!
Oh, it's just horrible looking.
Look at the cyber trailer. Oh, God. The cyber trailer.
And notice, go back for a second. Go back to the other one. The irony, his electric vehicle with what is obviously an ATV that is powered by gas.
No, it's the cyber. It's definitely a cyber ATV. You see it?
A cyber ATV.
Yeah, it's got the same design.
so you can electric vehicle while you're electric vehicling. Dude,
look at the dashboard.
The whole thing is stupid. What is this?
Oh, let's see the Hummer. Electric Hummer.
Dude, that thing should be killed with fire. Now, compare that to this stylish guy right here.
Oh, it's only $80,000.
Yeah. That, my friends, is a nice looking truck. It's got a little bit of futuristic, but it's got a little bit of callback to back in the day.
Oh, it goes up to $112,000. Wow. All right, let's see some photos here.
I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
it's not bad looking. I don't have anything wrong with it, but I don't know. The Cybertruck is just kind of like funny to me.
I mean, if you're buying it and you like you said to me, I bought this thing because I think it's so ugly, it's cute, like getting a Chihuahua. I'd be like, all right. But when fanboys are fanboying out on that thing, I'm like, you have lost all credibility with me in anything to do with style.
Look, every car in the world is going to be a Cybertruck in the next 5 years. Every single car.
Dude, well, and that's another thing when people talk about, here you go, for Tesla. Well, they're developing all these satellites. They're going to, okay. And I'm just looking at them like, okay. You know,
Wait, are you talking about the like worldwide internet?
yeah, mini satellites, but the problem with that is Amazon's doing the same thing. And the bigger problem with that is we're going to have to address the space junk that's up there at a certain point. So, and Kathy Woods also with her space fund. I'm like,
dude, I bought that for like 5 days, and I was like, this is just
smart.
so stupid, and I sold it. I wonder where I'm going to see where it's at right now.
I don't think that it's a bad speculative play. I think fanboys are going to push that up.
Yeah, it's a momentum play. It's definitely not, something a value investor would.
But here's the problem with ARK.
It's actually flat, by the way. It's flat. It's been flat since it came out.
Here's the problem with ARK, and I think this is why she did this space ETF. They rely on inflows of cash, not quality investments. And I think you're going to see her create more and more stupid speculative ETFs till ARK eventually implodes.
Well, and here, even if it implodes, she's already made her millions because they have a 0.75%, expense ratio. I mean, even if the funds go to zero, she's already made lots and lots and lots of money.
Oh, I agree. She's going to be financially solvent. It's just I'm trying to save the average person money because when I was talking about where innovation was going on one of my podcasts, and you asked me, and I said, well, the ARK funds. But then I really started digging into ARK, and I'm like, she doesn't understand that just because CRISPR was the first one to come up with, it was the first major gene editing company. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of companies that are using the very technologies now. So there's no guarantee CRISPR is going to be the one. And that technology is not going to mature for at least another 20 to 30 years.
CRISPR's like gene editing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's where they stands for clustered regularly interspaced palindromic repeats. And basically what it is they use something, and this is just bro science, called zinc scissors. They go in, like if you're diabetic, they'll snip the defective gene out of your genome, and then they'll replace it with a functioning gene, and then your body will fix everything. That's all fine and dandy, but we're nowhere near to the levels where we're mastering this. There's going to be massive commercial uses for it. That's 20 years away.
Yeah. I always tell my wife, they're going to come out with like the forever infinite life pill the day after I die.
They probably will. And but the thing is when you actually look at the life of technology, it's really where it really hits critical mass with consumers is like the 20 to 40 year mark. CRISPR is 8 or 9 years old. So it's
everything takes tons of time. Like you don't just instantly switch from one energy system or one technology to another. I mean, the internet went pretty quickly, but it still took 20 years to get to where we're at right now. I remember dial-up, and now we're at the point where it's great, but it took a decent amount of time.
Longer than that, my friend. First email was sent in 1972 or 71. I
didn't know that.
The precursor to the internet was the ARPANET. And what physicists wanted to do is tie all the nation's computers together in case of nuclear war. And then so that military application took about 40 years, 50 years to get to the point of the internet we know and love today. That's how long it took that technology to mature. Back in I was in high school in like 95 and 94, people were getting on the internet. And I'm like, the fuck is the internet? And they're like, oh, you can just go in and your computer will take you places. And I was like, oh, okay. So, that was around the time I was graduating from high school. And I'm really not that old, 42. So it took even a while to get to its infancy where it was commercialized.
Yeah, I remember, I'm 31. I'm not old either, but yeah. I distinctly remember dial-up.
Yeah. I'm just old enough to have called people on a rotary phone.
I think we may have had one when I was super young. I think I remember my grandma having one, but I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Well, your parents are probably old enough. My mom had community phone line when she grew up.
Like you pick it. How does that work exactly?
Yeah, the little, give me the address or whatever, and like the operator would switch the thing. He was like, the one you see in like the Andy Griffith show.
Wow, yeah, that's super old school. But I mean, think 100 years ago, it was what, 1921. I mean, some people are still 100 years old and they're still alive.
Well, I've pointed this out. I pointed this out in a podcast where I was just fascinated. The last Civil War veteran died in 1957. So my mom is old enough to have that. She would have been a little girl. She was born in 1950. So like in one generation, I would be touching the Civil War. If she had known this guy, she could have been telling me stories about it. Oh, our neighbor, when I was a little girl, he had fought in the Civil War. Can you believe that? And I mean, when you look at my great aunt, she was born in 1906, 1908. She was born in 1908. So realistically, when she was a little kid, she could have had a neighbor that was 90 years old, and you're almost at the founding of America.
Yeah. You may have been a revolutionary vet. Well, no, they'd probably be dead by then. But
no, they'd be dead. But
our country's not that old. It's really surprising, if you really look at it.
People like to think things were a long time ago, and I'm like, but they're really not. Like, you think about the civil rights movement that began 15 years before I was born.
Yeah, and like our parents they probably saw Vietnam on the TV and maybe even Korean War. Imagine sitting in your house watching Vietnam footage in real time. Like that's crazy. And there's people alive that have seen that.
My uncle, the one I told you about, he served in the Air Force during the Korean War. He wasn't over there, but he was in the Air Force at that time.
Yeah, my grandpa was like an intelligence person. He was stationed in Japan. I don't know what he was, probably like intercepting communications, but he was like a Korean War veteran.
Still, I mean, yeah. So it's like I'm of the generation that could have known my grandfather who had served in World War II, and you're of the generation who a grandfather that served in the Korean War. And I mean, it isn't going back that far.
Yeah.
So people,
maybe Afghan War is going to be an old war too. It's like, remember Afghanistan? The war on terror.
I can't wait till I'm at the point where I'm old and cranky talking about the Iraq War.
Yeah, I bet you Afghanistan will still be a crap hole, even 50 years from now.
It's screwed, dude. There's nothing you can do. This is how you know that there's idiots involved in the government, right? Two things. The person who decided to invade Afghanistan was nobody sitting around going like, do you know that Afghanistan has been at war since Alexander the Great went through there? Do you know that we've already played this game in Afghanistan in the 1800s? Why are we going to Afghanistan? And, the other one was the moron who fired the Iraqi army when we were taking over Iraq.
Oh, yeah, that was huge. Huge.
That dude, like when he appears in public, people should throw rotting fruit at him. Like, I wish I was in the meeting. Like, wait, what did you just suggest? Well, we should fire the Iraqi army. Okay, so you want to fire a bunch of military trained men, make it impossible for them to get jobs, and you don't think they're going to fight us. How did you get into this position? Like, how did you fail? This is what I would have been telling the guy. How did you fail up this far?
Yeah, and that region is just so complicated. There's so many different like religious groups and groups. Like it's super hard to understand what's going on there. You know, just to go in there and invade and just topple everything. That's going to lead to huge problems. But it happened.
Yeah, and I know it happened, but it's like it's geniuses in charge. Like you drew that area up after World War I with the fall of the Ottoman Empire. So you put a bunch of people together into a country who have long-standing strife going back thousands of years. The only way you're going to unite that country is under a strong man. Saddam Hussein, pick him. And you got rid of him, and what you got is arguably worse. It's the whole devil you know problem.
Yeah, because especially if it's a democracy, you know, and you have a large minority that doesn't feel represented. Like, you know, in Iraq, it was the Sunnis that were in charge, but they were the minority. And now if you have democracy, well, they don't have any influence anymore. That's partially what led to ISIS. I mean, they were mostly Sunnis, you know, like ex-Iraqi military and, you know, a bunch of radicals teaming together to fight, you know, the Shia government.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. You know, you work in government. You have been around people where you're like, how did you get into a position where you're in charge of me?
It's just time. The government's all about time. It's not about competence. I mean, like I don't expect to be a supervisor if I'm even there that long. I don't expect to be a supervisor until my 40s or even 50s. Doesn't matter how good I am. It's just you got to wait it out, basically.
You know what the thing is, though, man? In all honesty, I don't know if I ever want to be a supervisor. It's the thing I've noticed is it's a lot of politics rather than about the work. And I don't care about politics. I don't want to play the politic game. I'm just like, I'm here to work. I don't care about your problems and making you look good. I'm here to
I was never a good politician. That's why, you know, I mean, I did okay as an officer. I wasn't like horrible. I think I did a good job, but, you know, I was never going to be a colonel or a general, you know, because I didn't go kiss the battalion commander's butt, stuff like that, which a lot of guys did. But that's why I kind of like the self-employment route. Like I can start my own channel. I can tutor. I can like actually use my competence to make myself wealthy without having to work for some stupid organization to do so.
Well, yeah, dude, I told you, if I had to go do it all over again and I had a bachelor's and somebody, I would join the Air Force again. If they said, you know, do you want to go to the officer route? I go, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go the enlisted route. The enlisted are my people. But
it's good for a couple. Like I would say if you're a junior officer, it's a lot of fun because you could be a platoon leader and you're down with the guys. But once you make captain, you know, that's what happened to me. I was a captain. They're like, okay, now you're going to go to staff, and which is hell. And then after that, you're only going to command maybe one more time. And then for the rest of your career, you're in the staff, which is horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I think like on a lot of levels, like when you hear a special forces guy or a ranger talk about the big army and why they hate it.
Well, there's politics there too. I mean, even in the special forces or rangers, you have to, you know, compete for promotions and evaluations. Every organization is a pyramid in the military.
No, I know, but it seems like there would be less BS. I know there's always going to be BS when you're dealing with people, but it just seems like there's less of it there.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. There's definitely less BS in the big army. But at the end of the day, the army's the army. You got to compete for promotion. And, you know, when you get to the top of the pyramid, more and more people are going to get cut off every promotion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what my goal is, man, is just get myself in a position to where I can either I'd rather be a comedian, but if I'm in the government, I'm in the government. I don't want to be in charge. I just would rather disappear over here, man, work with like 4 or 5 people that it's just all about getting the work done.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I'm hoping there's like a specialist track for accountants. Like, you know, if I ever become a GS 14 or 15, hopefully there's like a very technical expert, kind of like I almost think of it as like a warrant officer. And if I could do something like that, where I'm highly specialized in like government accounting, I would do that and take promotions. But To be a big supervisor, it's not worth the pay. I don't think.
Dude, I listened to where I was. They told me I was on the supervisor track. I had a heart to heart with my boss, and I was like, in seeing the leadership, I don't want anything to do with any of this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, the leadership is not about. It's not about the people that we serve. It's all about their own self-serving needs. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not a politician. I'm not, like you said, I'm not going to kiss your ass. If I think your idea is stupid, I'm just going to be like, yeah, man, that's retarded. Here's why it's retarded, because it came from a retarded mind.
That's why I always say, like, if you're not a suck up careerist kind of person, the number one thing to get you out of that is to save boatloads of money. Because you don't have to compete with people and you're actually better off than them. So you don't have to worry about, I got to get the next promotion. Oh my God. When you have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved, it doesn't matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Saving money is never wrong, ever.
No, and that's a number one lesson is, like I said to somebody, the ultimate form of rebellion in a consumerist society is frugality and saving. It's not, protesting capitalism by ordering Uber Eats in Portland on your iPhone made by Chinese slaves. It's the whole, you want me to stay addicted to buying cheap crap from China? Let me tell you what I'm going to do about that. I'm just not going to buy anything from China, and I'm going to save all my money. So at the end of the day, when you come to cancel me, I just look at you and I'm like, can't cancel me, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I can't wait till I'm at the point where I can say whatever I want. Like, once I have enough money, I'm going to say whatever I want. And even if I get in trouble, what are you going to do? Fire me? Oh, I'm already a millionaire. Okay.
Dude, if you're a millionaire and somebody's like, Chris, you're going to toe the line on this, or you're going to find yourself in the unemployment line. Do you understand? And you're like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be in the unemployment line. Well, why is that if you're without a job? Yeah. Did I tell you I drive a crappy car because I saved all my money? So what I'll actually be is waiting in line at the bar on the beach while you're stuck here.
Actually, I can't wait. Like, hopefully, if my savings could do well and I build my other businesses, by the time I'm 40, I might be able to just exit the government. I can't wait to walk in, if this is actually possible, and be like, all right, I'm retiring. And they're like, Chris, you're 40. You're 41. What are you doing? I'm like, how are you retiring? I'm like, well, I am. And then just walk out. That would be so funny if I could actually do that.
Oh, dude, you should actually make that T-shirt.
Which one? The Bitcoin one?
Yeah, with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I thought about it. It's like $26 to make it custom design, but it might be worth the money. And I could probably even write it off as like a business expense.
Dude, you should, man. Like, if I get to 1,000 subscribers, like I want to sell people merch. So it's more of a voluntary thing where it's not like you're buying a course from me. The only thing I am going to do is get back to rewriting Ryan Scribner's course and make it better and without grammatical errors, and then sell it for a penny just for the sheer comedy of the fact that I did that. But
you're gonna undercut the entire market. They're gonna have you assassinated.
Right. One of Jeremy's guys just shows up on my porch and shoots me dead.
They're gonna put a Komodo dragon in your house.
Oh, dude, if I came home and there was a Komodo dragon in here, I'd be like sick. I might fucking keep this thing.
Hey, if it's small enough, it's not gonna eat you. It might bite your toe off.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, my main thing was just start a Patreon, dude, and and then just sell merch, funny investing T-shirts.
I mean, there's tons of ways to make money without screwing people over. You can have merch, you can write books, Patreon. It's all voluntary. Like, I'm not forcing you to buy my book. But at the same time, if you buy my book, you're not going to lose your life savings if you spend $10 on it. It's like, Well,
yeah, and then there's tips. You have tips in there. I mean, I haven't read it yet. I will, but there's tips in there.
I mean, it's more of a book to like you don't have to read the whole thing, but like if you're interested about, what about prenups or what about, investing or insurance, you don't have to read everything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you just were, it's like, it's going to, okay, so my best thing is just throw money at index funds and I'm fine. Like, you've just demystified the stock market.
Yeah. As long as we get people to watch, they're too busy speculating on Dogecoin and Tesla.
Dude, I can't wait for the crypto market to collapse. And I really do keep comparing it to the baseball card market of the late 90s, where they just kept, these are premier, so we'll just keep printing them. It's like there's a new crypto coming online like every week.
Oh, yeah. If you download Coinbase and just skim through the cryptos, it's like, what is this crap they're creating? This is such a scam.
Dude, we know how this road ends. I just want it to end sooner rather than later because I'm tired of hearing about it.
Oh, just don't get your hopes up. This could be going for a long, long time.
Thinking about what do I want to do tonight for a video? Do I want to YOLO into Planet 13?
No. What is the dumbest meme stock right now? I'm trying to think. GameStop's old.
It's played out.
Yeah, AMC's old. I don't even know what the new meme stock is. I probably have to go to Wall Street Bets to like figure it out.
I go on there. I usually go on there to see what these dumbasses are doing, and I don't. For the life of me, I don't understand why they think it's funny to lose money.
What the hell?
I'm gonna refill my water real quick.
All right, let's find the new meme stock. Oh, he's on a boat. Oh,
It's not going to happen.
Oh, I hear it. What is this? MindMed. Let's see. Let's check Robinhood and see how good this stock is. MNMD. Oh, I just revealed my portfolio. What the hell? It's not even popping up.
Might not, dude.
Everybody's gonna steal me all my $3,000 in Robinhood now.
Well, I mean, they don't know how to get in there.
But they can take it and whatever. Yeah, what is this? I can't even access. Like, if I can't look something on Robinhood, how the hell am I supposed to buy it? It's Clov. What is this? Clov. Let's see how awesome this. Clover Health Investments.
What's it?
Well,
no PE ratio, so it's not positive, so it's not even profitable.
We got 4 employees. I mean, I guess that's not a big deal. It's got a 1.3 billion market cap, though. Oh, it's an IPO. Look at this. It just came out.
Oh.
See, this is like a typical IPO right here. Like you have, it goes up, and then there's speculation, and then there's a massive boom, and then crash. That is like the quintessential IPO right there.
Dude, that's what I wanted to do with Coinbase, because I don't know if it's dropped down yet, but I think it's going to drop down, and then people are going to YOLO into it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're probably in the YOLO phase right now. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to play it, you could, but as soon as you get like 20% gains, I'd get the hell out of it.
Yeah, I gotta sell my Doge because I got like a 20% gain on that.
All right, what's this? OCGN? Let's see what this is. An awesome, profitable Occugen. Oh, price-earnings ratio. Development and commercial of therapies for eye diseases.
Dude, I don't.
Let's see. Is this a recent IPO? Look at this. Damn, this thing got crushed. Yo, this was a penny stock.
Wait, how much was it at? It was at like $10, and now it's a penny stock. Oh my god.
No, yeah. So it IPO'd. It looks like, I don't know if this is the IPO, but 141. Then it had this massive. Yeah, it looks like an IPO to me.
Oh my god.
And then look, kaboom! Something must have happened here, but I mean, look how low it got. You got into like 20 cents. Jesus. Wow, that's another great investment from Wall Street Bets. Let's see, GME technical analysis.
But they don't know how to do technical analysis. Technical analysis is stupid anyways.
This is Palantir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already know that's stupid. What is this? UWMC. Okay. Oh, IPO. Look at that. Let's see. Oh, price earnings ratio.
Dude.
Oh my God. It's a wholesale mortgage lender. Where do they find this crap, man? Look at this idiot.
Well, wait, how much is he down?
$30,000.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. What did this dude buy?
Is
he laughing about it, or does he want to kill himself?
Probably both. Yeah, it doesn't say what he bought. Let's see. They're telling him to sell it and buy GameStop.
Oh, dude, I don't get, dude, this is like it's your future.
Yeah, I'm seeing this Invis a lot. We just looked at that, didn't we? Invis.
No.
Microvision. Yeah, I've seen this a couple times. This is probably the new. Yeah, look at that. It's up 36% since the last time the market was open. Jesus Christ. Laser beam scanning tech. Let's see if there's oh, look at that. I'm seeing a trend here, aren't you?
Yeah. No price to earnings ratio.
All right, let's see the history of this amazing stock. Oh, look at this. Oh, it went up right as they started printing money and sending out stimulus checks. Imagine that. Jesus Christ.
Dude, well, it reminds me. Remember I told you about that girl who said she went from $0 to $50,000 in a year in investing, and I'm like, that's impossible. Unless you're playing penny stocks.
Yeah, that would have been like pure speculative luck. Fubo. This is kind of fun just looking at what these idiots are buying.
We should do this every week.
Yeah, we should actually do like a whole live stream where we just go through Wall Street Bets.
We should. Fubo.
Oh, look at this. Man. Oh, 88% buy rating. Look, so this was their earnings estimate in the last quarter, and look what they actually did.
Bro, it's...
Oh, yeah, it's an IPO. It's another one. God, these people are so stupid.
Wait, what's NIO at? Go back.
Oh, it's up almost 4%. Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's... Yeah.
Are they profitable at least?
No.
Oh, my God, this is driving me nuts, dude. I mean, at least if you're going to buy a company, at least wait till it's like proven it's profitable. Like at least Tesla has profit. I mean, I know it's from carbon credits or whatever, but let's see where Tesla's at.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, look at that. Look at that glittering, starling, beautiful price to earnings ratio there.
Yeah, 1,000, what is it, 1,300?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And this is like most stocks have like a lot of buys, but this is actually a lot of holds and a lot of sells, which is not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rude awakening and it's coming. We talk about it ad nauseum, but it's just, I was reading this thing where Gen Zers are TikToking their latest stock buys, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do is take stock investing advice from a 17-year-old.
Hey, they're down with the meme culture. They know.
I'm trying to see what the latest idiotic thing that Jeremy is pushing.
We can check. Let's see. Always fun to check up on Jeremy,
Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you. I'm going to buy a burner phone and call his guy again and then live stream it. Let's see what
he hasn't made a video in a while.
1 week ago.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, I haven't seen any of his videos. Let's see. I think he might have like another channel somewhere.
Maybe he died of COVID.
Stock falling fast. I'm doing this. What is TTCF? Let's see. Oh, it's Tattooed Chef. Let me guess. Does it have a price to earnings ratio? Wow.
What is it?
9.9.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah, that would at least intrigue me. Like, I would look into it.
That would make like I would be like willing to listen to what you're thinking on it. Although I disagree with you that vegan food is really going to take off like people think it is, considering the fact that like 95% of the population eats meat.
No, the whole population is going to be vegan in like 5 days. All right, DBX. Let's see what that is. DBX. Oh, Dropbox. Yeah. Is Dropbox still not profitable?
Doesn't look like it.
Wow.
Doesn't have a PE ratio. It's not profitable.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend in a lot of these.
I mean, wait, with Dropbox though, tell me, what is your moat? That's the biggest thing that, I wonder, like Bank of America, when I made my speculative play on it, right? The moat is it's extremely difficult to start a bank.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's always good to buy a company with a large moat, but that's beyond most Wall Street bet people. Look at this. Are they trying to crash the stock market? Who's they? The IRS?
Dude, let's see what he's saying.
Oh, downvote. There we go.
Did you downvote him?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Well, these folks ain't no jokers, guys. We got a lot to talk about here today in regards
There's 5.7 million people listening to him.
What's going on?
That's his total channel views.
Wow.
On my desktop here. What is going on here? Hold on just a second, guys. I'm sorry I started recording a little too soon. I don't know. I have
yeah,
no clue.
He's flexing right now.
He's
like, I'm going to Monaco, bro. I didn't want to show you, but I actually did.
Yeah, dude.
Look at his background.
Dude, somebody asked me online, they go, why do you hate on this guy? He's a self-made millionaire. I'm like, the only reason this guy's a millionaire is because of YouTube. He's not a good investor.
Yeah. Look, they are trying to crash the stock market.
Now, keep in mind, majority of the money invested in the stock market for the most part is folks that have a lot of money, right? It kind of makes sense. Like, if you have a lot of money, you probably have a lot of...
Well, I mean, like, my thought is if they raise capital gain rates, I would be like, okay, I'm just going to wait these people out and just live off dividends, because you don't have to sell your stock. That's the only time you pay capital gains.
Yeah, no, I know, dude. You reminded me of that when I got my hopes up of the market tanking. And you said, well, dude, all they're going to do is just hold on and not sell stock. And I was like, you're right, man.
Yeah, look at it. So they want to raise the capital gains rate for people making more than $1 million. That's actually not, I mean, yeah, you're very well off, but still, that's kind of a low cap.
Oh, dude, trust me, the cap is going to come for the middle class. I can't even
Yeah,
stand.
they're not going to get down to like government employee level pay, but I think they'll definitely drop it to 200, 300, something like that.
Right? If you got $40 million in the market or $100 million, different situation. You can afford that. So all of a sudden you kind of squeeze the folks that are on the come up and are starting to reach good.
Well,
money.
another thing about this cat, dude, is notice his lack of economy of words.
He's not well spoken.
No,
he's not a great orator. And you know, okay, so he's making this point right now, and he's saying, "Oh, the tax rate, the crash is going to squeeze people out." Well, if stocks tank because of the crash or because of the tax rates, and you're a low income person, that's actually your best opportunity to build wealth, because that would be a perfect buying opportunity.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I don't think a lot of these people know that really the only person that's affected, you'll hear some, dude, in March, my portfolio was down by half. Okay, well, do you have to sell anything this year? No. Okay, well, then you have nothing to worry about.
No, especially my thought process, I'm selling in 30, 40, or 50 years, so I really just do not give a crap.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to my mom when she was talking, well, Jay, if the market crashes, then the baby boomers take their money out. I'm like, so I'm supposed to get less of gains down the road because somebody didn't financially prepare?
Exactly. Oh, this is all random crap. All right, man. I'm probably gonna now. Strong man.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit tired. I don't even know at this point after 2 hours if I'm going to make a YOLO video tonight.
I might just go buy a couple beers.
Yeah, I got a case here. I'll probably just get hammered and try and write some stand-up.
Yeah, you can message me if you get bored.
Yeah, dude. Well, because it's like, at a certain point, you just talk yourself out. And it's like, then you're like, do I really want to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to release the Coinbase video tonight. And then.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to that. You need to get that out, man.
Yeah. And tomorrow night, I'll just go and do stand-up and come home and prepare a YOLO video.
Yeah, my next video is going to be I'm going to focus on Dave Ramsey for a couple of days just to I'm trying to grow to 1,000. That's all I want right now. So I'm going to focus on Dave Ramsey and probably dump on ARK a little bit more. But I do like your idea. I think I'm going to start doing the TSP thing. Or we can do it again.
Dude. I'm gonna just start at 0. Or I don't have a lot in there. I think I have in my TSP 13,000.
Yeah, I'm at like 20 something. So we're at the same place for our federal TSP. So we might as well.
Yeah, and I think when I can show people okay, this is the amount of damage you can do to your TSP if you're contributing, if you're maxing it out, and you're getting that 4%.
Dude, we need to do a competition. So we'll have the same portfolio, but I'll have 1% more S fund, and you'll have 1% more I, and we'll see who does better.
Okay, all right, I'm down. Now.
It's a joke, but I'll send you my asset allocation if you just want to screw around.
I'll show you what mine is, and what my goal is, and my reasoning behind it. I'm going hard at the 25% in the I fund and 75% in the S fund now. I'm going to drop that down, but the reason being is I'm trying to balance the TSP to my actual Vanguard account.
Yeah, so you do have a different portfolio, so it'd be cool to compare over time because I have some C, I have I, and I have S. So I think it'd be cool.
I think what I'm going to do after I get my S fund where I want it to is do 33% in each of them and just let it ride.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
Because it was just, I was sitting there and I was just crushing the C fund. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, but you have the Vanguard total stock market and these two are comparable. So why are you doing that? I don't know, man. I'll figure it out. I got to figure out how I want to just simplify this portfolio. I'm going to start transitioning out of the Vanguard Healthcare Fund, getting it a lower part of my allocation. And I think I got to like condense everything. I think I'm going to do the 4-fund approach in my Vanguard account.
Yeah, I'm selling all my mutual funds eventually, except for, the core VT, VBR, and VNQ. I'll get around to it eventually once it's like long-term capital gains, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's simplified, and then you're not thinking about it. So if you're really looking around for a stock, you're like, I don't have to think about this over here. I can just concentrate on just finding a gem and just, $500 to $1,000 into it. But yeah, we'll do that, dude. We'll show like how you can just smash the TSP.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I might get some beer and maybe work on it a little bit.
All right, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, man. I'll try to get somebody on, or we can do. You know what we should do? I don't know what that one guy is. We should talk about see if we can get other people in on the competition too.
Yeah, investing sucks. He's going to come on next week. He told me.
Okay, we'll have him on, and we'll talk to him about like what kind of competition he wants to do with us.
With his Canadian ETFs.
Yeah, like, dude, we'll find out where he's got most of his money, and we'll be okay. Well, we'll just show these people how like your portfolio can just grow. And
with Jeremy, we'll see who does better in the next 5 years.
Jeremy might do better than either of us over the next 5 years. I think it's really where
not 5 years, not 5. I would say the next couple months or year, maybe 5. No way.
I was going to say he's going to get crushed in the 10 to 20 year range.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But then again, it's hard to pin down what his portfolio actually is because he just has random crap that he shows. Oh, I put 30K in this and 50K in that. It's like, what is your what are you doing? What is your portfolio?
What if that's the joke though? What if he's really, he's a scumbag anyways, but what if he was really just crushing index funds?
I highly doubt that. All right, man. I'm gonna head out.
All right, dude. All right, man. All right, later. See ya. I'll talk to you during the week.
All right, later.
See ya.